be recorded.
UK, Japan, and technology leadership experience from Germany, Netherlands, and India. His experience includes creating and driving products, services with new technologies and digital transformations. He's highly successful in designing and executing go-to-market solution strategies in the digital and Internet of Things industries, particularly connected cars. His other areas of focus is a cloud tech, AI, ML, digital twins, and next-gen connectivity. He had proven leadership and extensive experience with global automotive OEMs and Tiers 1. He successfully managed many initiatives from concept to productivization through partnerships and collaborations. He's also a mentor for Reboot Mobility, Virtual Hackathon for 2020 for a group of MBA and EMBA students from said Business School, University of Oxford, London Business School, Cambridge, Judge for Business School, and Maverick Business School Active. Specialization includes ICT, CAV, e-mobility, IoT, cloud tech, process, automation, business modules, strategic alliance partnerships, technology per se, conference speakers. And we are delighted to have you, Niranjan, Murthy, here. And we really want to know how the post-COVID transportation and the automobile industry is going to be. Over to you, Niranjan, sir. You're in mute.
It's a quite exhaustive introduction. Thank you for the small intro anyway. Can you guys see my screen?
No.
So, Varnaji, can you put him as a presenter? Yeah, we can see it now.
He's already a co-presenter.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you see full screen, Suvarna?
Not yet.
No.
No?
Yeah, it's much better.
Can you see the full screen?
No.
Yes, hello? We can see as a full screen.
Great. Can I start?
Yes, yeah, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for your patience, actually, to sort out this technical issue. Myself is Niranjan. I'm an employee of Tata Group, a company called Tata Elxsi. I look after connected car and future technologies area for global OEM business, particularly in automotive. I'm based out of United Kingdom. So before actually getting into the automotive in UK, I would like to briefly take through my group company. For Indian audience, we don't need much introduction about the Tata Group. As you all know that it's a global business group with more than 7 lakhs people employed all over 100 countries, and the group revenue of $100 billion plus, and this is old data a little bit, and also most of the revenue, you can say 68% of the revenue from the product and services coming from outside of India. That means you can truly say that it's a global a company. So my company, which is Tata Elxsi, is almost 30 years of in business, particularly in engineering service company. We do a lot of software and hardware. That is the main area. And we have 6,000 plus engineers, strong engineers with global delivery capability, and also have a lot of patents and tools in our kitty actually. So, and we have almost 14 business development centers around the world, including Europe, North America, as well as Asia Pacific. And the 4 verticals we serve, mainly embedded product design, which is almost 82% of our revenue. which addresses the software, hardware design, and full end-to-end service for programs and architecture and maintenance kind of projects. Then we have an industrial design group, which is look and feel of a product, mechanical design, user interface, user experience, that kind of activities which we do, and which will be almost 10% of our revenue coming from this group. And then we have a visual content group, which is based out of Mumbai, and because that's where most of the Bollywood movies and other film contents we create. A lot of movie animations we do, and even also we work with a lot of Hollywood movies in special effect and things like that. Then we have system integration group, which is just 4% of our revenue. We provide the integration service of the third parties. Our headquarters is in Bangalore, and we have also development centers in Trivandrum, Chennai, Pune, Mumbai, and other area. The main industry which we serve is particularly automotive, which is our main revenue generator. And then we also address consumer electronics and communication, aerospace and defense, rail and marine, semiconductor, broadcast and media, and medical electronics and IoT. I belongs to a group called Embedded Products Design Group, which is majority revenue generator and in the automotive space. So now I would like to actually getting into UK from the automotive perspective. Because I'm here for last 10 years, I would say. I have more than 20 years in automotive experience, working with a lot of premium OEMs and tier 1 suppliers in this space. Hopefully, confidently, I can speak about what's happening in the industry, particularly in UK. I would like to play this small video just to give the glance of UK market. Please bear with me.
If you can just go, yeah, that's good.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a minute. We'll come out from this video. I could see some lot of lag actually.
We can't see your presentation. Niranjan sir, we can't see your presentation slide. Yeah, great. No, we can see the screen, but we can't see your presentation.
1 minute.
Sure. Maybe it's the before tab.
Can you?
Yeah, but not full screen.
Sorry, just bear with me.
Sure.
Can you see the full screen?
Yes, yes.
Sorry. I was expecting this problem, but I could not test in before. Okay, as you see from this particular slide, UK is quite a vibrant automotive sector. It's more than 20 R&D centers are located in UK. There are 6 mainstream car manufacturers and 9 engine manufacturers and 4 commercial vehicle manufacturers and 8 major premium auto OEMs are located. There are 6 design centers, 8 bus and coach manufacturers, 60 plus specialist car manufacturers, and 2,500 suppliers are located in UK. It almost 820,000 people are recruited and employed by the sector, and 168,000 people directly employed in this manufacturing alone, and 59,000 people started apprentice in last year. In fact, the peak for the automotive was 2016. That's where you can see a lot of people in this sector working. And by 2030, they are expecting 20,000 more engineers opportunity. And there are 41,000 people employed in UK motorsports. And if you look into the big brands, the top 5 brands which actually based out of UK are Jaguar Land Rover, which is owned by Tata, then the Nissan, Mini, Toyota, and Honda. And you see the different car models. Apart from the passenger vehicle, there are commercial vehicles produced like PSA, Leyland trucks, LEVC, the London Taxi, and other 2 major companies. So quite exhaustive market. If you look into comparison with respect to rest of the world in size, which is 16th place, you see that India is in the 5th place with respect to the volume of cars produced. As to European Union, they are in the 4th place. So it's quite a big producer within the European Union. And you see this in the last year, 2019, the year-on-year growth on the automotive sector, almost 13.9% reduction. And in EU level also it has reduced. It's only because of there are some issues. This is pre-COVID. Before COVID crisis started, there are a lot of issues automotive industry was facing. Diesel scandals, you must be aware of that. Volkswagen, it started with. And then slowing global economy and the trade war of America and as well as China. and the Brexit. And these are the issues were already lingering with the automotive industry. Because of that, there was already a problem in the industry. And in spite of all those problems, there are a lot of initiative, particularly in the productivity improvement has taken place in the sector, and which is almost 20% of the reduction in the parts inventory, which saved 2.6 billion to the suppliers and increased the productivity by 5%, which saved almost 4.3 billion to the manufacturers. And the machine downtime was reduced by 40% thanks to Industry 4 initiatives, where a lot of automation has happened in the plants, manufacturing plant, and which was benefited wider economy of almost 1.7 billion saved, and time to market has increased reduced by 25%. From all these productivity improvement, almost 74 billions was benefited for the whole sector. So this is SMMT data, which is a body which actually a lobby group, you can say, which represents the automotive industry and work for automotive industry closely with the government. And typically, how a day in automotive in UK looks like this, actually. As you may be already aware of that, UK was the part of the European Union until last year, and now they are in the transition period. And there is a process called just in time. That means there are no warehouses in UK to keep the parts or anything. All these parts majority of the parts are produced in European Union. Every day 1,100 trucks carry from the European Union to Britain, and almost every day, this is a day in activity, 42 million pounds of worth of components are transported into Britain, and 5,000 cars are produced every day. 9,700 engines are manufactured every day, out of which 1,000 cars are distributed within UK and 3,600 engines are delivered within UK, and rest of the engines as well as the cars are exported. You can see from this one, Britain is an export economy. That means they need to have a good relationship with the rest of the world, and the trade should be good with respect to the other part of the world in order to successful in this industry. So that's how the industry was working. And I would like to skip this video because I may face the issues. Overall, what it says is before the crisis, industry was already facing the challenge. One is with respect to the change in the technology and the competition coming from the sector, which is not automotive sector, particularly Facebook and big tech companies like Tesla. These are the challenges were posed by a different sector, which was already going through that issue. Then the COVID crisis started, as you all aware of that. In the last 3 months, FTSE, which is London Stock Exchange, has gone down from almost more than 33% drop, and there are a lot of issues automotive industry is facing with respect to cash flow, and then drop in sales because there are no dealerships are open for the people or the customers to go and view the vehicle and buy the car, and there is completely shutdown of the automotive manufacturing plants. There is no output. In fact, now they have resumed the operation, and things are coming a little bit better, and a lot of unemployment is caused because of this one. I don't want to give the gloomy picture. Of course, I was going through this McKinsey report recently they have done. This is just the last month report, and they have actually come out with what are the different scenarios, GDP growth scenario for the economic impact of the COVID-19. And this data is based on more than 250 top-level executives survey done by the McKinsey company. You see on the left side, virus spread and public health response. When you go towards the x-axis, the other side it is the best, and in the left side it is the worst. Similarly, when you go into the x-axis on the top, it is the best versus the worst. So what happens if rapid and effective control of the virus spreads happens, and the best scenario would be A3, A4, and the worst scenario would be B4 and B5. And these curves are based on if virus is able to, they contain that one and they can find some cure, and economy can have a different scenario of recovery. You see the best possible scenario, what, executives are thinking is A1 scenario. That means now it has dropped down economy and the virus recurrence has happened, and slow long-term growth is what we are expecting. In fact, some of the data shows that the recovery can take, in the sense, we can come back to normal, that means pre-COVID situation, only by end of next year. That means 2021 is what is the best possible scenario, provided there are no interruption, there are no second wave, third wave kind of scenarios happens. So it's very scary picture, but still, there are a lot of other challenges to be addressed. So what 7 elements, which is going to determine the future of the next normal? I would say that, as we all know that we are all working from home, and wherever possible, IT, particularly software and retail, all of them, most of the development work is already happening from the remote location. Distance is going to be back. That means, distance is, you can't have a similar, working condition what it was before. And the second part is the resilience and efficiency. So if you look into the data of the previous crisis, in 2010 economical crisis and situation like that, and whoever survived those time, and they were all improving the productivity part and resilient. If you look into the Apple App Store launch, which has all happened in 2010, Netflix started streaming their services in 2010. Walmart digital service started in 2010. A lot of things in the crisis time only happened. So in fact, Amazon services have gone up during this resilience time. So this clearly shows that whoever is resilient, particularly adapting to the digital transformation and improving the productivity, will be the key for the future normal. And rise of contact-free economy. As you all see that once this virus was impacted, everyone wanted to do remotely. As Ravi was presenting in the previous session, everybody would like to do online now, because they are scared to go out. They don't want to be in touch with other person, which they don't know what may happen. So if the technology or the companies adapt to these kind of technology, if you can deliver your products or the services through contract-free economy, you are going to be the winner. So that is the new normal going to be, and this is as per the McKinsey research and analysis. And then also we see that a lot of government intervention in the economy. You must be already aware of UK, how it was, particularly government helped to balance this economy during this crisis. Of course, we will come to know what is the success rate in coming months once the government support is taken back. But there are a lot of governments, particularly in the West, US and UK government, are trying to help the small and medium enterprises. If you look into the UK as an economy, majority of the revenue comes from the small and medium enterprises. It's a very vibrant, sector. And then also from the company's point of view, stakeholders, not the shareholders. All these days, companies were just bothered about the shareholders and how to get more return to my shareholders. Now, their decision is going to impact, and it will be in the mind of people, in the whatever the decision they are going to take, is going to be deciding factor. That means your customers and your employees, all of that are very important to be considered in the crisis situation like this. And the changing industry structure, we will see a lot of merger acquisition is going to happen, a lot of consolidation is going to happen, particularly in automotive space. It is extremely difficult. I was reading the other day the research paper from the Germany. There are a lot of merger is going to happen, because one company cannot survive actually, but they have specialization in some service and product, and now they run out of cash flow. There will be a lot of merger and acquisition is happening, and whoever find the way to emerge stronger through digital transformation, contactless economy, are going to be the winner. That is the future, and that is the next normal. So From the automotive point of view, there are major trends and developments. This is particularly to the UK economy. And as you see that there are 8 trends, and how each trends can make winner or loser for the people who are participating in this. COVID-19 will have an impact on the UK mobility sector for more than 2 years. That means as I said that it may recover or it may go back to pre-COVID state by end of next year or early 2022. That is what is the prediction. And COVID-19 will have a different impacts on the new car sales. As you know that we can't go and see the cars, we can't experience driving experience, and then the decision will impact on the buying actually. And this is the space we have to see. And if you have a solution or the technology which you can have an immersion technology or virtual reality through which you can get the similar experience for the customer, and there will be chances for such companies to make good business in this current situation. All this is next short term to mid term, which is 1 to 2 years. That is the time frame. And physical distancing requirements will permanently change mobility mix. Obviously, everyone was looking into mobility as a service. That was the one of the booming sector within the UK. There are so much money has gone into that those kind of company as a startups. Now people will think twice whether can I share my ride with someone which I don't know in the situation like virus. So this will definitely going to impact. And also there is a lot of pressure from the government now to make a greener and cleaner technology. Electrification is going to be the future, and they will bring it forward. Already UK is in quite advanced stage with respect to implementing these regulation, which is going to be brought forward for sure. In the coming months, as Srinath was mentioning, Santosh, by July, we will come to know what is the government policies with respect to helping and bringing this technology quicker and faster. So that's the some of the insight I would like to give with respect to UK economy. And post-COVID scenario, there are a lot of thinkings are already happening. As you must have seen that particularly one of the OEM Jaguar Land Rover, when they were in crisis situation, their parts has to come from China. They put every parts in the suitcase and sanitized and brought into UK to assemble. So they are thinking now, second time, is it worth to do this kind of things? How do we avoid this logistic situation? Is the globalization is the solution, or should I do a localization? That means locally able to design and develop and supply. So this is the trend which may happen. We need to be aware of that. If you are an investor and you can exploit this particular situation of having a technology or parts which you want to build up in UK and supply this one, or the nearshore center you can think of. So this is what may happen actually, and because OEMs and the tier ones want to reduce the risk in order to be in the sustainable in this kind of business. And but still all these are quite negative news for us, even though we don't want to share, but this is what may happen actually, most probably. But nevertheless, there are positive things are happening before COVID and now also. These are the technologies which OEMs have heavily invested in actually in UK. The Tailpipe Emission legislation, that is basically zero emission. By 2030, UK would like to have 30% reduction in the current emission rate. So that means you need to definitely go for electrification or any other sustainable source of fuel energy, which could be hydrocarbon, hydrogen-based engines, electric engine, all of that. Even hybrid could be a short term, I would say. Electrification is going to be the future. And the wider energy system, they are already investing. There are a lot of funds available, particularly in this space. There is a Faraday program, and then we have, I can take you to the next slide. And then the connected and autonomous side have very big, funding availability in the UK. I feel that connectivity will continue, and there is a lot of investment is going to happen in the connectivity, but it may slow down in the short term. In the mid-term, connectivity and autonomous vehicles will come back into the mainstream. Mobility as a service would be an impact in a sector. I do see that there could be challenges to mobility as a service, because Uber may never made any money, and the next 15 years they will never make money. As the mobility service will work, sustain, only time will tell. And a lot of consolidation is happening. And life cycle regulation. That means once the car is produced, until it goes to end of its life, the whole life it has to be managed. Data, privacy, and transfer of ownership, all of this, and recycling. Up to 70% of the whole parts they would like to recycle in order to contribute to the planet. So these are the technologies which government. You can go into website government.co.uk, which clearly says that what is the roadmap of the government with respect to zero emission strategy, and how they would like to work with industry, business, academia, and also the international partners. If you have a solution, if you have a technology, or if you have a business model in the service sector, or whether it's in the products sector, you can actually work and make a lot of opportunity in this area actually. So there is also Brexit is coming into place. Once they have the agreement, there are a lot of opportunity. India may get this opportunity to work together with a British company. So this is the area you can look into that also. And the tailpipe emission, as I mentioned, you see that by 2030, 30% of the CO2 reduction has to happen. And most of the coal plants are already closing, they're destroying, and they are going with the renewable, most of them energy. In fact, during the crisis time, most of the energy which is produced is only from the wind and the nuclear plant. There is no coal plant was switched on. So that is a very astonishing, research, report fact which I read recently. And with respect to connected and automotive vehicle, there will be a lot of investment, definitely, because 5G is going to come into picture, and which is has a huge, impact on the economy as well as the automotive as a business. So if you are into, remotely monitoring services or fleet management services, or the remotely able to diagnose the vehicle and update the software, those kind of services will definitely get a thumb up in the upcoming days. And then mobility service, as I said, that we have to keep watching this area, and what may happen, we are not sure. But there will be slow growth in my view, mobility as a service. And electrical energy storage is another big, push from the government. You can look into the government website for more information on this one. And if you are providing any services, if you have a technology in the electrical storage, there is a lot of vehicle to grid, grid to vehicle. So when you have a car, electric car, and what you can do is you can actually store the energy in the car, and you can give back to the grid when the demand is required. You can, car owners can make money out of that one. These are the some of the streams getting a lot of funding from the UK and Europe. You can watch that space for the opportunities. Then connectivity, I wanted to put this, this is the 2020, that is 50 billion devices are already connected. And IoT is going to get a boost, very big boost now, because as the ability to remotely do a lot of things through the IoT is the winner for this particular crisis time. And if you have a technology, machine-to-machine communication technology, and building security, a smart metering, usage-based insurance, and anyway, any remote services, if you have a solution and the services, you can actually have a good partnership here. And then 5G, actually, there are two services which are particularly interesting to the automotive sector. One is EMBB, that is called Enhanced Mobility Broadband. And the second one is Ultra Reliable Low Latency Communication. When you have these two features available with the 5G, 5G, when we think about that, it's all about faster, and the bandwidth is more. It's all good. When you have such bandwidth, what are the services you can offer? So there are plenty of services you can offer, particularly into the automotive sector. And when you have a low latency, car-to-car communication, car-to-infrastructure communication, and autonomous with the connectivity, these are the big trends which are happening. UK is in the forefront, particularly in this autonomy side. And if you are having any innovative idea, if you have any startups, you can think of raising funds from UK. There is a quite lot of funds and venture capitalists are available in this space actually. And CV2X is another form of connectivity. That means instead of digital short range communication, which is the Wi-Fi based technology, which was there for last 10 years, but it didn't pick up. Now what is happening in this industry is cellular way of vehicle to vehicle communication. That means through the mobile network of cellular network, the car can communicate to another car. Car can communicate to the pedestrian in order to get the safety. Car can communicate to the infrastructure. For example, you are reaching a traffic sign, and if the car can be intelligent enough to tell you, if you drive at this particular speed, you will not get any red signal in the next second. So these are the smart way of delivering the services. So these kind of services and the cloud-based solution, we are remotely able to monitor, get the insight, and diagnose. All of that kind of services will get the boost in the area. And automotives are working on this area. And the one part I want to say clearly, working with my clients is automotives are very good in OEMs, particularly designing the vehicle, good looking car and durable and stable, sturdy, and all of that. When it comes to integrating such technology, the latest technology, particularly 5G, and also the smart and intelligent and connecting to the cloud, making the more security in the cloud, and web and mobile application development. These are the area you can watch for the more opportunities. So another trend I'm seeing in the recent time is satellite communication. That means by 2020, 63% of the world population will get the 4G connectivity, but it's only 30% of the landmass is covers. If you are in the remote place, you may not get it. What this particular technology is trying to do is, using the satellite communication, you can do the broadband communication. The price of the satellite communication, all this was very expensive. But now there are a lot of UK companies are involving in research and development. In fact, I myself interacting with a lot of Oxford-based universities. Antenna size is coming down, performance of the satellite is going up, and the cost of the satellite communication is coming down. You must have recently seen this Elon Musk launching of Geo satellite and Leo low Earth orbit satellite, which is going to amalgamate with the rest of the connectivity, so that you will get intelligent connectivity with respect to if you have Wi-Fi, car will connect to Wi-Fi. If you have 4G, it will connect to 4G. If you have 5G, it will connect. If nothing is available, satellite is going to back up. Particularly in the autonomous space, you would see that this integration of this technology will benefit. And also I heard recently India is also planning to make a private partnership for the satellite actually launching as well as providing the services. So this is the area, particularly in UK, you will see a lot of opportunity in this area. So overall, what I would say that even though it is a gloomy picture with respect to short term and medium term, in the long term, it is going to be quite attractive. I think it will bounce back strongly by 2021, end of the 21, or maybe early 22. That is what we are seeing. And next 6 months are very critical for particularly automotive OEMs, because how government behaves, how government regulations unfold, how restructure happens within the OEM, what priority they give to their products, and how the supply chain is managed, how the innovation is managed will be a determinantal. And if you guys, any companies, medium and small enterprises in UK, India, are entering into this area, you have a bright future. That's what I would like to say. And I would like to end my session, and I will open up for the Q&A session. Hello.
Thank you very much, Niranjan sir, for that wonderful informative session. We will take up the question and answers. If you can leave your question in the chat box, or please feel free to unmute and ask. Before anybody would ask any question, I am a little curious about few things.
Sure.
I think automobile industry is talking about the 4G and the digitalization, what you were talking about, the systems, but there is also a talk that automobile industry is going to go back at least 3 to 4 years behind what we are now. So how is it going to be, both the contradictory ends going to meet? Because we are going to go back to 3 to 4 years back, especially in a country like India. I think India stands fourth in the world in terms of automobile industry. So what do you say about it, sir?
Yeah, in spite of all these things, Tesla shares have gone up by 800%. Tesla manufactures cars. What is the difference? You see, the rest of the OEMs produce the fossil fuel engines, most of them actually, petrol and diesel. Petrol and diesel doesn't have a future beyond 10 years. Hence, the auto industry has to actually reinvent itself to come quickly into electric vehicle. So electric is the future. If you switch to the electric, and of course, this is not going to happen just by OEMs. There are a lot of government support is required, because assume the scenario, I have an electric car, and if I drive outside and if my charge is all drained out, what happens? So there should be a lot of investment coming from the government and the third parties, particularly to put the infrastructure. Hence, and also this automotive industry, the biggest problem was it is a cyclic. Every 10 years it resets. So this financial crisis happened in 2010. Auto industry went down. I remember when I moved to UK during that time, and we were thinking, oh, that plant is going to be closed. This point is going to be closed. Yes, there was the rumors like that. Then the investment came into picture, and new products were created, and it was a boom time for the next 10 years. Now it has gone down. They have to reinvent, and they have to put the new services, particularly electrification is the new technology which gets into, and people like to have a kind of convenience services. And when you have your mobile phone, which is all super fast, and then you can get all the services in the smartphone. When you go to your car, and if you see the small head unit which is taking 10 minutes to boot up, so these are the problems what we are facing. If you play your part rightly, and this bounce back can happen within 2 years. That's my thinking about this industry. Because you need a car. People, I was reading the another day, in spite of this crisis situation, the premium cars are still sold in China. When they just opened for 1 month, almost 10-15,000 cars are sold. In fact, even I read the India story, Hyundai, the new product, which is Creta, I believe, CREATA, and they sold 4,000 plus vehicle SUVs in that 1 month. So this is contradicting to what we are seeing, and what you are saying actually. Definitely it will go back down and it will bounce back. That's
more safety in car, I think, than driving with others or using the public transport there.
Yes, in fact, now it will be problematic, because I don't want to prefer to take the public transport, because a lot of people are there, hundreds in the bus, hundreds in the car. Instead of that private vehicle, I would like to drive to office and come back. That is the preference also. So see, electric car is very expensive because the technology is just coming up. And over the period of time, yes, it will change. I think industry will find its way, definitely.
That's amazing.
Hey, Niranjan, this is Madhi here.
Hi, Madhi.
Hey, Ravi had told in his previous presentation about recycling of batteries as a good opportunity. And with a lot of electric cars coming in, how soon do you see as too soon for the recycling of battery as a business opportunity?
Yeah, that is fantastic. In fact, I was mentoring the Oxford and Cambridge University MBA students last week in hackathon. One of the idea is, recycling and also refilling. So the biggest problem for the electric vehicle is the charging speed. Assume that the complete battery is drained, and if I go and put into the charging, it may take 8 hours, 11 kilowatt, for example, or 7 kilowatt, or 10 hours. So you can't wait. So some of the idea this team came up was how we can actually just a swappable, just go to the center and take the battery and put into your vehicle, particularly for the two-wheeler, and then see, typical battery life will be around 8 to 9 years is what it is actually. And if you start your battery recycling now, it may not be good, but you can start working on the technology. And when it goes to the, of course, you can start with the small, and next 5 to 6 years is where that industry will go up. That's my view, because all the OEMs, whoever you look into that, they're all coming with the variants of electric vehicle, and the life of that battery would be around 8 years, 10 years, based on the usage. Of course, it's a physics at the end of the day, battery technology, and it has its own life actually. That is the time, if you have a technology and if you have a company who can actually take these used batteries and recycle it with the OEMs, with the manufacturers, and redistribute into the system economy, there will be opportunity. I hope it answered your question.
Definitely, Niranjan. Thank you so much.
It's a great point to Niranjan. Just want to add one more thing there on top of to Niranjan, to Adi. See, if we start this, that would be probably a right point, I would say. The reason I say is, if you start doing research, then you find a very creative novelty idea to recycle the battery. And when you go back and look at the existing batteries, might not be able to recycle through that process. So in other words, if you find a new solution for recycling in an innovative way, that might influence how the battery is getting designed as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. See, it's all about the funding availability. See, basically, absolutely, when you go to any investor, first thing they'll ask is, when I'll get my money back? What is the growth, return on investment? So if the market is not big enough, of course, you have to start small only, and you learn in this process, and then it goes to the peak. This is the challenge actually. Recycling for in the car industry particularly may come in next 5-6 years. Maybe we can learn from big OEMs, particularly Nissan, who started their Nissan Leaf almost 10 years ago, and Toyota Prius, they also 10 years ago. How they're managing, that could be a good example to follow actually. I'm not sure whether they're recycling or just destroying once it is life cycle is done.
Yeah, the reason for my question is actually, like Riva, the car which was started, I think when I was a kid, 25 years back, an electric car, it was too early. Yes. Now Tesla, which started later back, is now a big company. Riva's disappeared. So that's my question of how early is too early. I think Niranjan, you answered my question very well. Thank you. And Ravi, I appreciate your input too.
In fact, maybe Reva was too early. I remember in Bangalore, in the small car moving around that is 2 lakh. Murthy I can buy for 2 lakhs. Why I should buy small car for 2 lakh? People who are not bothered about environment and all of that, they were thinking that way. But Tesla, the way they did it is different. And even though technology was there for last 10-15 years, Mahindra, I guess, purchased this Reva. Still, they are not able to make breakthrough like the way Tesla is doing, and the kind of fund they are raising in the market, the kind of market capitalization of the Tesla. No other OEMs could do this one actually. And GM, Ford, Toyota, none of them could do that. So this is the interesting part. Yeah, coming into the right time into the market is also very important. Otherwise, you will burn your cash, and investor will not be happy.
It's more of an
Hello.
awareness.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Niranjan. Muthu here. I happened to see a video regarding the hydro powering for the vehicles as well,
Yes.
which is advantage compared to a battery. What is your
Hydrogen
take
cell.
on that? Because hydrogen
so
cell
many.
or
I'm working with two companies, in the sense very early meeting, and they already developed a concept, proof of concept, hydrogen cell, battery powered actually vehicle, which is going to pick up for sure, and which is going to, there is in UK there is a lot of investment is happening in that area, and there are a lot of companies are working in this area, and it will pick up for sure. Because just fill the water and get the energy. That is the
exactly
cheapest, form of energy.
if I'm right, Toyota and Hyundai has already created technology and they have a vehicle running. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They have concept vehicles, hydrogen fueled, this one. There are so many companies here, startups in the UK, and I can send you a link, if you maybe, to
Yeah,
Suvarna.
I would be happy to get to know
In
about
fact, I
that.
was mentoring that girl. She's an executive MBA. She works for that company. It's a startup. They built a proof of concept based on the hydrogen powered
Uh,
this one.
if you are available, I will also be interested to get mentored because I'm part of a company where we convert a normal IC engine vehicle into an
Mm-hmm.
electrical one in
Mm-hmm.
India, based
Mm-hmm.
out of Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, we have interest from Amazon and IKEA for their
Mm-hmm.
delivery segment. Because
Okay.
if Mr. Jeff Bezos, when he came to India, he wanted
Mm-hmm.
30% of his fleet to be electric.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of
Oh,
buying
you
new
converted
ones,
auto also, I believe. I remember photo
yes,
sitting in the electric auto.
yes. So
Yeah.
we have already given two-wheelers to Zomato and
Mm-hmm.
Swiggy as well. These are all electric cycles,
Wow.
and this is right now we are converting Tata Ace. If you by chance know,
Mm-hmm.
Tata Ace into an electric vehicle.
Wow.
So it's already on. But as I saw this video, then I also got to see it has a lot of the hydro has a lot of benefits compared to electric
Correct.
vehicle. So it's better to know and start research right now when we are not late in the market. So that's why
Definitely.
if you're available, I would like to get in touch and be mentored as well.
Sure, you can be in touch with me. And I'm happy to, link up with UK, system ecosystem. I know,
Yes,
in fact,
yes.
I was thinking of bringing some technology to India, which is used in, sports race actually.
Okay,
What it was to do was, still it is available, which used to clean the whole engine, petrol engine, diesel engine. Just what you have to do, you have to start the engine vehicle, and
okay,
this output of this machine has to be fed into the engine inlet, and 30 minutes you have to run. It removes the whole
okay,
carbon inside the, any deposit of the old engine, and improves the efficiency
okay.
by 20 to 25%, and your tailpipe
That's
emission reduces further. So I thought that hydrogen is already, going. Sorry, fuel may not be the business. I just dropped out that actually, but there is a
no,
technology
but
available, and we can think of that.
I think for next Indians being Indians for at least 10-15 years, I guess the IC engine is going to be around. People are not
Yes.
going to change unless and until government puts a norm. And people who are
Hmm.
buying today a IC engine are buying it in a thought that at least 5 to 7 years they'll use it. And all
Yes.
this, I guess your thought the product will be still good. If the market is very big right now, if we capture 5 to 10% of the market, should be a good
Hmm.
option. Might be get to this discussion outside the session.
Sure. Definitely, we would like to talk separately,
Yeah,
maybe.
I
Yeah.
would like to get your contact. So if you can,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
however it's possible. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Sure.
Sir,
Yeah.
Muthu sir, even we would like to get connected to you. I think there is a huge demand for the kind of product you're offering. So could you please
Yes,
leave your phone number in the chat box so that we can take a note and
I will
connect
do.
you on a. Thank you
I
so
will do
much.
immediately. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks
much
a
for
lot.
your input, sir.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
we have any more questions here? Uh, I wanted to ask you, Niranjan sir, one thing, that what would you tell all the aspiring engineers from India, because we all know that India is the biggest producer of engineers, and all the students out there, I'm sure they are a little confused with this COVID and a lot of apprehensions about studies which are going to happen in next coming years. So I want you to give one motivation for them, how the automobile engineering in coming years will be, and is it going to be very prosperous for them to pursue the course?
Oh, they are the engineering students, or
Automobile engineers?
yeah, is diploma or is it BE, bachelor?
Yeah, it could be
Bachelor.
any
Okay,
stream, any stream.
it doesn't matter actually. See, as long as mankind exists on the planet Earth, they have to move. Human beings are, has to be mobile. They go from A to B and B to C, C to B, and all of that has to happen. It will happen. Only thing is transformation happens. So as you see, that automotive industry always started with a crisis. In the Depression 1920, that's where the automotive started, and Boeing, all the flight started in the Depression, and you see the flights, also started in the 60s. And only thing is, the technology is changing. We have to adapt. Even when it comes to automotive engineering, currently, now engine is going to be replaced with, as Muthu has mentioned, electric powertrain. Hence, you need to know about electrification, and obviously a lot of power electronics. That is the huge demand, particularly in the powertrain, because it's all the switch mode power supply and how to control, how to regulate the motor. All this power, battery technology. These are all part of the new vehicle. Plus, also connecting the car to the cloud, so that you will get a lot of information from the car, inside generation, how to improve the performance, how to optimize the vehicle performance, fleet tracking, geofencing. These are the added services. Once you connect the car to the internet, possibilities are infinite. Hence, don't worry. Actually, you will be, always required, and maybe the transmission and the powertrain will change, and the look and feel of the design vehicle will change based on the autonomy comes into picture. But still, someone has to make the car. Hence, and someone has to repair. Obviously, every engineers are required, and don't lose any hopes. Actually, you will be, definitely rewarded.
Back on board. Thank you very much for the wonderful inputs, and with a lot of patience, I must add that. And do we have any more questions, or would you give me the permission to wind up the session? Okay. Seeing none, I take this forward towards the end, and I take the privilege to thank both the wonderful speakers, Ravi Vetsa and Niranjan Murthy, for your wonderful time and inputs. It was not only informative but very useful during the post-COVID times, where we have no clue about how the business are going to be, the transportation is going to be. I think your inputs will add a lot of enthusiasm and motivation to our existing business, and also get a thought process of how to further proceed and where to invest and other things. I also take the privilege as a global convener from CIMSME to thank Santosh ji, MNR Gupta, Suvarna Bhatt, Hitesh sir, and all the other coordinators and other people who have provided the back-end support. And I thank you very much for all the enthusiastic participants here, and participate with a lot of zeal and enthusiasm. Thank you very much. And over to you, Hitesh sir, UK head. I would like to invite Hitesh sir to add few more inputs here. Thank you. Over to you, Hitesh.
Hi, all. Good evening in India, and as same good evening in the UK as well. So, thank you, Ravi Vitsa and Niranjan, for your wonderful time and very good points, like business potential in the UK and opportunities and automotive opportunities in the UK.
I can see that there are many opportunities in the UK, mainly that the people who was asked that fresh food or these things. Yeah, we are also importing many fresh foods like mangoes. Recently, we had a mangoes too many here, and the rice and the peanuts, many things. There are very good opportunities here. So you can connect many Asian grocery shops or Asian dealers. You can get it those ones. If you have any questions, you can contact through the CIMSME to us. We will try to help you in the UK. And the people who has helped us to make this up this meeting, Mr. MNR and Mr. Santosh. It's really honor to us to get all these points. Thank you so much from CMSME UK and CMSME India.
So thank you very much for having us. It was great interacting with everyone. Thank you, Shivnagaru, and thank you, Suvarna and MNR.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great opportunity to share our insight and meeting a new people, new network. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Niranjan, if you put your contact details, they might be asked you in personal chat if you are okay, or if you give your
I'm okay actually.
if you give your LinkedIn profile for them, then they might be contact you instead of the personal chat. Okay.
Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah.
Thank you.
Should I share my personal email ID?
Yeah, if you put your LinkedIn profile, that will be more help, I think, instead of if you put on the
I
chart.
can propose LinkedIn also as well as my this one. Yeah.
Kindly put on the mute, please.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. This is MNR Gupta. Yeah, this is MNR Gupta, CMSME Global Chairman. I would like to congratulate our team, our CMSME UK Chairman, Mr. Hitesh, for his wonderful support, and Mr. Ravi Verma and Mr. Niranjan for their outstanding presentation. And at the same time, I would like to thank Ms. Suvarna Sharma, Ms. Suvarna Bhatt, our global coordinator, global convener, for their valuable inputs for this webinar to make it successful. And thanks to Mr. Santosh, our founder and director, to make these things happen. And Mr. Hitesh, please continue with many more events like this. Really, it's wonderful and it's mind-blowing and very valid points. And the session has been done in a very global manner. I am really proud of my team and fantastic work done by everyone in CMSME Global Council. Keep it up, good work. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody on the board. Thank you, Ravi sir. Thank you, Niranjan sir. Thank you, Santosh sir. And for all those who are on board, the details of Niranjan sir and Ravi sir is posted in the chat box. So kindly take a note of it, and you can lead your queries to them or connect with CIMSME team, or I have posted my WhatsApp number, whatever is convenient to you.
Hi Swarna, Muthu here. Please get back to me.
Yes, sure. It will be a privilege. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thanks a lot.
Santosh sir, can I end the session?
This conference will now be recorded.